I've, 32M, been married to my wife Jen, 32F, for a little over 7 years now. Up until about 2 years ago, things were great. However, a disastrous move, a few family emergencies, and a totaled car have left us in a terrible financial situation. All our savings are pretty much gone, 401k's empty, and we're hemorrhaging money. Before we bought our house 2 years ago, things were amazing financially. We made the mistake of buying a nice 3-bedroom house because we planned on having kids. Those plans, thankfully, got put on the back burner because adding a kid into this mess right now would kill us. It's not really a mystery why things are like this. Jen and I are both underpaid at our jobs, and we moved into a high cost of living area like morons. Last December, I told Jen one of two things needed to happen: we either sell the house or start making more money. The latter would most definitely mean finding new jobs that would pay us a market rate. Jen pushed back on this because she loved the house and her current job. I told her she had to choose one and couldn't have it both ways, and after a week of arguing, she agreed we would look for new jobs. It's been almost 6 months now. Last Friday, I signed an offer for a new job. It's over a 35k raise for me. Jen, however, has done nothing. In January, she asked for a raise in the market rate and was very disrespectfully told by her manager that she was not worth that. She was shown the door to leave if she wasn't happy. Jen has taken this as her putting in the effort and done nothing else, telling me we should wait and see what happens with my job search. I'm not happy about this. When I came home Friday and told her I got the job, she got pissy because I clarified this does not mean she can stay at her job. We fought again, and I told her that this would mean we only stop hemorrhaging money on the house. We will be able to save only a little and would still not be close to refilling our 401k's. Kids, the whole reason we got this damn house would be entirely off the table. We haven't talked much since then. Yesterday, her parents visited for dinner. Despite my best efforts to keep them out of it, Jen announced my new job to her parents by saying maybe I'll stop complaining about money once I start. I don't know why I said it, but I replied with, "Oh, don't worry, Jen. I won't have to worry about money a year from now because we'll be divorced by then." Things got quiet real quick after, and I excused myself. Her parents left shortly after, and she slept on the couch to avoid talking to me. I've not talked to Jen or her parents since last night. Things are very cold between us right now, and I genuinely wonder if I did something last night that probably ruined my marriage. Comment 1, NTA you told her nothing but the truth. If you divorce her, she can stay in her job and support herself, and you can take your new job and get yourself back on a solid financial footing. You have no kids, so you won't be saddled with child support, and you most certainly should not have to pay her any alimony. Not a guarantee, of course, with the biased divorce courts to deal with. She knew what you both were expected to do to save yourselves financially, and she balked at doing her part. Advice: follow through on your threat and divorce her. Comment 2. ESH. She started the battle by announcing at dinner to her parents your new job by saying maybe now you will stop complaining about money. She knew what she was doing. Then you dropped a nuke and won the battle, but also scorched the earth. But you probably will be divorced anyways because you guys are financially unfit and incompatible. She is never leaving that job. Comment 3. ESH. Your wife made a passive-aggressive comment, but yours was much more personal and hurtful. That being said, I don't think this necessarily ruined your marriage. I do think you both might benefit from couples counseling to discuss your plans and values and improve communication. I'm also surprised that she is so invested in a job that very disrespectfully told her she wasn't worth more. Is there anything else going on? Self-esteem issues, serious anxiety about transitioning to a new position, etc. I'm not making excuses, just, usually if people stay with lower paying roles it's because the community helps make up for it. For the past month, my husband, 27M, and I, 28F, have been in a rut. We've been arguing about so many trivial things. Last week, He randomly asked me if I liked eating s'mores. I said I don't care for them and rarely do I ever crave them. He then asked me what I thought of cabins and camping. I told him I don't care for either, to be honest, and the only way I would go camping is if it was a glamping experience. He nodded and said noted. Today he tells me to be ready and dressed by 4 p.m. because we have a date planned. I put on a cute outfit because all he told me was we have a special date planned. Any other time he said that, the date usually involves us going out to a fancy restaurant. So I put on a skirt, some heels, and a top. He sees my outfit, doesn't say anything. The only thing I noticed that was odd was that he brought his backpack with him. I asked him why, and he said that he just wanted to put his hoodie somewhere in case it got cold later. We get into the car and 20 minutes into the drive I ask him how far is the restaurant we're going to. He smiles and says, about an hour. I pull up my phone and start responding to some work emails to kill time. And then when we arrived to our destination I honestly got so upset. It was a super tiny trailer in the middle of the West Virginia woods. There was a small picnic table outside and just woods. I ask him what we were doing there and he turns to me and says, surprise. We're having a couples retreat. Do you like it? I walk inside the trailer and mind you, my husband knows I am extremely claustrophobic. There is no room inside this trailer. I start panicking because A. I need physical space, B. I'm in heels and a skirt in the middle of the woodsy. He packed PJs, his toothbrush, and a change of clothes but didn't think to tell me I'd be needing anything for this date. At that point I just blatantly ask him, have I ever expressed any interest in camping to you? He said, no. And then I followed up with, you know how much I hate small spaces, what made you think I'd enjoy this? I just really want to understand. He didn't say anything. I told him I appreciated the gesture, but I could not for the life of me figure out how he thought planning this in the way he did was going to help get us out of a rut. This isn't the first time he's planned something for me that I hated. And the worst thing, I've told him before if I've never expressed interest in something to please not gift it to me or plan a date around it. I do a very good job at giving him extremely thoughtful gifts and planning him very thoughtful dates/experiences. And today I told him that it just seems like there isn't any consideration for me in that regard. Comment 1. NTA I'm bewildered by the idea of him planning a camping/outdoor/overnight type of event, not even hinting that you dressing up for going out to dinner was a problem, and not bringing along any toiletries or extra clothing for you. What was going on in this man's brain? I'm going to bring my wife out into the woods in inappropriate clothing and with nothing for her to change into or sleep in, and she's going to be happy about it? I don't necessarily mind camping, but this entire experience would feel disrespectful and piss me the heck off. OP comment. I was very surprised to learn that he didn't pack me anything at all. If he packed me an overnight bag, I might have reacted differently. I mean, yeah, sure, I hate small spaces. Would I have enjoyed myself? Probably not. But it would have been nice to know that my partner packed me my essentials. That he was thoughtful and intentional with the planning. Comment 2. NTA. He asked you what you thought of camping, you responded that you would not enjoy that, and he planned a camping trip anyway. You didn't respond in a mean or horrible way. It sounds to me like you were actually pretty mature and respectful about it while still getting the what were you thinking? Point across. My mom had me, 17F, when she was 30. She was single and I never knew my father, but I did find out more info on him 2 years ago after doing some online digging and didn't like what I found. But that's neither here nor there. My mom was not a good mother. She admitted to me in the past she attempted to abort me and it failed, and she tried to give me up for adoption, but the couple who planned to adopt me got pregnant just before I was born, and so mom was like, fuck it. She covered the most basic of needs for me and that was it. We did not spend time together. She hired a babysitter to do the day-to-day care, usually a teenager looking for money. She did not take an interest in my education. She ignored any contact from school. It was up to my babysitter to take me to medical appointments. That's just how she was. She didn't want me. When I was 9, she met a guy and she married him. I think I was 10. They had a daughter soon after, then a son, and then another daughter. I spent most of my time at friends once she got married since my mom didn't want to pay for a babysitter anymore. Worked for me. At 10 it was painful for me to see her make a family when she hadn't wanted me. What neither of us ever expected or prepared for was the fact her kids would seek me out and want me. I try to avoid being around them where possible because I don't want to be a jerk, but I don't want a relationship with them either. But they still look at me like I'm the coolest person they know and try so hard to reach out to me. When Mom realized this 4-ish months ago and realized how old I am, I think she panicked and she brought me to therapy with her where she apologized for being a bad mom, admitted she had been a bad mom and begged me for a second chance so she could do better for the sake of her 3 kids who clearly want me to be their big sister. She said she knows we have no relationship but she doesn't want me to leave in a few months and break her kids' hearts and she sees how wrong she is. But I have refused to offer her that chance. I told her she made her choice 17 years ago and her kids' best interests are not something I am worried about, just my own life and how I move forward once I'm gone. My mom and her husband, who I guess she told, were both pretty angry I didn't consider their kids at all because at least she's trying now or whatever. Comment 1. NTA. Your mother failed to provide you with the love and care you deserved during your childhood, and her sudden change of heart seems more motivated by her concern for her younger children than genuine remorse for how she treated you. While it's unfortunate that her children are caught in this situation, you have every right to prioritize your own emotional well-being and future. It's understandable that you would have difficulty forming a relationship with them after everything you've been through. Your mother and her husband expecting you to suddenly fulfill a family role after years of neglect is unfair and unrealistic. Comment 2. NTA. I'm sorry you had this experience as a young person. If it helps at all, my mom was raised similarly and she is one of the happiest, most kind people in the world. You don't need to let your shit mom define your life or attitude. As for your half-siblings, keep being whatever you've been. They think you're cool, so, keep being cool. I have usually hated it when I get to know someone I thought was cool and found out that they were as normal as everyone else. Comment 3. NTA. Have you ever asked if your conception was a consensual event? Obviously, no need to answer here, but that might be a reason your mom could not form a bond with you. Regardless of this answer, your mom has not treated you well and you do not owe her a relationship. My thought process is just that this might give you peace and a way to rationalize why your mom behaved this way. I hope you're okay and wish you all the luck in the rest of your life.
I've 5 siblings, 4 of whom I love dearly, but as for my sister Tina, I hate her. She was always the problem child in our family. It only got worse when Mom, our oldest brother Jack, Dad, and Tina got in a car accident because Tina started drama at a party, so we had to get our parents to collect us early. Mom lost her life and Dad was left with life-changing injuries. Me and Jack had broken bones, but Tina walk away with not single mark. Tina, who already had mental health issues, BPD, turned to alcohol and painkillers. She caused a lot of hurt to us for 3 years before she got plastered at Jack's collage graduation party, humiliated herself, as usual. Then when she was told leave, got mad and did what she always did, punish us, but this time she took it too far. She took the karaoke microphone, gave a big speech about us being bad people, especially me and my brother. She aired all our family's secrets, like my brother being gay or how Mom wanted to divorce Dad before she passed. She ended up taking our dad's car as a last fuck you to ruin the party, so I reported her and she got arrested. We decided all us siblings would cut her off and made Dad press charges. Tina got 3 years. 10 years later she reached out to our dad and grandparents. Apparently she's been clean for 11 years and is a better person. She is pregnant and has a husband too. We had our first meeting with her tonight. I only went to see would she take any accountability. But no, she didn't. Everything was something else's fault and she was victim. So I had to let it out. I wasn't afraid of her anymore. I listed everything she did to us and her husband made an excuse for her. He even tried to go off on us for turning our backs on her because his brother passed away due to addiction. I told him I care as much about his junkie brother as I do my junkie sister. Tina then started defending herself and giving out to me, threatening to not let me have a relationship with her kid like I cared again, with Tina no accountability or remorse. So I told her it's her fault mom died and dad can barely walk because she was always a evil selfish bitch. She just broke down and everyone stood in shock. I just left the house because I was done. Our grandmother is furious because I knew it was trigger for Tina and it could make her relapse.
Comment 1. ESH. Assuming Tina didn't literally cause the car accident, you guys were just in the wrong place at the wrong time that night due to Tina ending the night early. Saying she's the reason her mom died and her dad can't walk is a hella low blow. That said, being familiar with BPD alcoholics that are the perpetual victim and take no accountability, I don't blame you for your outburst after years of abuse and her trying to drag you back into her delusional self-centered world. You were TA, but you were also a victim facing their abuser and standing up for yourself. Sounds like you set a pretty firm boundary that you would like to stay estranged. Good for you. Comment 2. YTA, you'd just cut her off. You just went out of your way to be as miserable as you could, just to hurt her. No one's forcing you to meet, you made that choice. You could have just walked out and instead you decided to be horrendous for no reason.